Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. So today we're going to talk about how to set up your Alexa device to start the event at the right prayer time automatically without having to trigger anything yourself or press a button or ask Alexa to do anything. So before we start, this is a 100% free tutorial. So all the components and all the steps that I'm going to talk about here, they're all 100% free service. You don't have to pay for anything that I'm going to talk about today. And also, like the first couple of minutes, I'll talk about what we're trying to achieve, the workflow, what's going to happen in the background. If you don't want to listen to that part, feel free to skip to the next part, which is going to be a step-by-step guide on how to set up this using your Alexa device and the other components. Okay, so let's get started. We all know there are a lot of Alexa skills that you can install in your Alexa device. And out of those Alexa skills, there are a lot of prayer Alexa skills. Those prayer Alexa skills, they all can start the prayer or the Azan. But the problem is you need to ask Alexa to start that Azan. So for instance, I can ask Alexa to play the Azan or play a certain skill. Or I can set up a schedule so that the skill would run every day at 7 a.m., for instance. But we all know that this won't work for an Adhan or a prayer time because the prayer time keeps changing every single day. So what we're going to do is we are going to install the prayer time skill in Alexa, but we'll look into how to trigger this skill using an external trigger. Okay. Think about a doorbell. So if you have a doorbell in your house and someone presses the doorbell, and if you have that doorbell integrated with your Alexa, you'll get a sound coming from your Alexa device saying someone is at the door, or the doorbell would ring in your Alexa. So we will use the same trick and same technique in this scenario. So what we're going to do is we're going to install a virtual doorbell device. So in other words, I'm going to tell Alexa, hey, like there is a doorbell. It's going to be called ABC. And that doorbell, when it rings, when someone presses the button of the doorbell, start the event. Okay. This doorbell does not exist. It's a virtual doorbell. And I'll be using some kind of automation, and I'll show you that, to trigger that doorbell using a service or like a URL. Okay. This is the in-house setup. I'll be relying on something called IFTT. So IFTT is like an automation framework. So what it does is it goes like, if something happened, do something. That's all about IFTT. So I'm going to use IFTT and I'll check for the prayer time trigger. So if it's a prayer time, trigger something called Voice Monkey. So Voice Monkey is another framework and that or a tool, and that tool is going to install a virtual doorbell in my Alexa, and also expose that doorbell so that it can be called from outside the house. So I can call it from my mobile, I can call it from anywhere, and it's just going to be a URL. And IFTT is going to call that URL, and the URL is going to call the doorbell, and the doorbell is going to run a routine, and that routine is basically saying, run the event. So that's the whole workflow. And I'm going to show you now step by step how to set up the whole workflow. Cool. So let's get started in setting up the whole workflow using my Alexa device, the Alexa app, IFTT, and Voice Monkey. So this is my Alexa app. Okay, it's connected to my Alexa devices, and if I go to devices here on the bottom button, and then go all devices, you'll see all my devices here. It's got my bedroom device, living room, and some cameras all around my house. Okay. And you can see the doorbell, that's my real doorbell. That's not the virtual doorbell that we're going to install. So now let's go to Chrome or whatever browser you're using and go to voicemonkey.io. So voicemonkey.io. when you start this website, open that website, click on console, top right, and then it's going to ask you to authenticate using your Amazon account. And the reason it needs the Amazon account because it needs to access your Alexa device. So I'll just authenticate, sign in. Okay, so what happened is it this is the dashboard of the Voice Monkey. Now it's connected to my Alexa account or my Amazon account, and it's connected to my Alexa device. Okay. What I need to do now is I want Voice Monkey to install a virtual doorbell in my Alexa and also expose that doorbell using a URL so that I can talk to the doorbell. So what I'm going to do is I'll go to devices on the left-hand side and then go to routine triggers at the bottom and add a trigger. So I'll name the trigger prayer time trigger. And I'll go next. And it says, okay, your routine was added successfully. You've got a prayer time trigger. What's going to happen is if we go to Amazon Alexa now, the app, and go to devices, all devices, and then refresh, you'll find a new device all the way at the top here. It's called prayer time trigger. This is a virtual doorbell. You can see like it's a device installed and it's connected via Voice Monkey, as you can see here. And the type is doorbell, as you can see at the bottom. And yeah, so it's a doorbell installed using Voice Monkey, and now I can use that doorbell to do something. So now we have the doorbell installed as a trigger. Now we need to install the Azan skill in Alexa. So I'll go home, and then I'll look for, more, and then go to skills and games, and then search for prayer time. I'll pick the fourth one with the blue icon, okay? And that one in particular is the one that I'm using because it just starts the event straight away when you call the skill. You don't need to specify, exactly when you're talking to that skill that I needed to start the event or recite the event. It starts the event straight away once you start the skill. So I would install that skill in my Amazon account or Alexa account. Okay, and then now we have the Azan as a skill. We have the doorbell installed. It's ready to be invoked. Now I need to tie both of them. So I want something to say when the doorbell is invoked or someone is calling the doorbell, run the Azan. Okay, so I will go more and then go to routines, and then I press the start button, the plus button, sorry, top right, and then enter a name. So enter routine name. I would go start the event. Okay, done. Next. So when this happens, so when would the routine start? I would say go to smart home and then go to my prayer time trigger. So when the prayer time trigger is pressed, in other words, it's just called using the URL, save. What's the action? So add action. I would go skills. Where are the skills? Yeah, skills. And then my skills, your skills. And search for the prayer time, which is the third one here. Okay, next. And also something I like to do is go to the device settings and set the volume to the max because I want it to be loud and nice in the house. Next. And I can choose the device at the bottom here. So I choose the device to be the living room device, for instance. I don't want it to be in the bedroom. Save. Okay, so now the routine is saved. So what you can do is test this routine. So you can press this button, the play button next to the start the event routine, the second one. So I can press it and I should hear the Azan in my Alexa device, as you can hear it in the background. Cool. Now let's go back to Voice Monkey. So now I want to test. So I tested that the event can start using the Alexa itself. But now I need to test that Voice Monkey can actually start the event using the doorbell, using the routine that I just set up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the API v2 on the left-hand side. Okay, and then press on the routine trigger API, the middle one, and then copy this URL. Open it in a new tab. I should expect the event to start in my Alexa device. And that's exactly what happened. So that way I tested that Voice Monkey from the internet can actually talk to my Alexa device and start the event in my house. Okay? Now I want someone to automate this, and I want something to look for the prayer time, the right prayer time, and would call this URL for me to start the event in my house. And this can be done using an application called IFTT. So IFTT is an application that you search for IFTT. So it's an application in the store that can automate stuff. So it's based on if condition, then do something. Okay, so I'll open that app. As you can see, there are applets. It's based on applets. So I'll press on the create button, bottom corner, bottom middle bottom. So if this add, I'll press on add. So I'll search for an applet for an action called prayer time, and that prayer time, prayer time. It will ask me for which prayers do you want to get notified for. So Fajr, Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, everything. Location, I can put my location here, Calville, Australia. Save. And then the calculation method and everything, and then create trigger. So if prayer time, then what? So I'm going to ask IFTT to talk to Voice Monkey. So I'll search for Voice Monkey. Yeah, Alexa Voice Monkey. And trigger monkey routine, which is the one that I want. And if it's not connected to your Alexa device, you need to connect it to your Alexa device. But now it's connected to Alexa device. It shows my name here, and it asks you for which monkey to trigger, which is the prayer time trigger that we set up. So I'll go create action and continue. Yeah. So now it says if prayer time, then trigger the monkey prayer time trigger. So when it's the prayer time, it will talk to the Voice Monkey, and the Voice Monkey is going to send the request to my Alexa device to start the routine, and the routine is going to start the Alexa skill. If you want to receive notifications when this applet is active, so every time it's a prayer time and your Alexa device is supposed to start the event, you get a notification in your device saying, this applet is active and it has just run. This is just for you to make sure that everything is running smoothly and there are no problems and everything is configured properly. You go finish, and that's it. It's now connected. I hope this step-by-step guide is easy enough, and it would help you in setting up your Alexa device and start the event automatically without having to rely on any paid service or any external devices. Thank you for